Hey guys, so today is July 17th. Yeah, this isn't an easy day for me. I've had to take the day off because it's just emotionally I'm not there. That's my mum, that's my dad, and sadly 6 years ago we lost my mum on this day. But what I want to tell today is the last 24 hours of her life, because it is one of the best, funniest, saddest, and most important moment of my life. So let's sort of backtrack. So the year was 2014. At this point now, I had already accepted the fact that Mum was going. She was in palliative care. I've forgotten the hospital. That's irrelevant. Anyway, so it was about 11 o'clock. No, it was 10 o'clock actually. We started moving her bed from one room to pretty much the room that that she was gonna to pass away in. And the nurse told me this is the room that we always take when patients to when they're about to pass away. So they knew that we knew it was gonna be happening. I thought in the back of my mind she was going to pull through, that God was going to give us a miracle. Obviously it didn't happen, but it is what it is. The transition from going to one room, even though it was only a couple of doors down, wasn't easy. The other nurse, who just, I don't know, he was in a really foul mood. He moved and hit the first turn, the bed hit the wall. Mum screamed out in pain. He just didn't give a crap. I had to control myself. I really wanted to punch him, like I really did. At this point, I had probably slept a total of 8 hours in 3 days. Not because I couldn't sleep or anything. I just had a sense of urgency to look at Mum, make sure she was okay. Every night I would be holding her hand like that as she slept. I tried to sleep, and then all of a sudden I'd fall asleep for maybe a minute or two, and then the nurse would take my hand away so I don't fall over or anything, and that would wake me up again, and then I'll be up for the rest of the night. As we moved her to the new room, she was comfortable, but this is when her mind had started to go. So she started to really ramble, and my cousin Amanda decided to take me out. So we ended up going just to get some food. We went to a comic shop just to take my mind off things, because I couldn't handle anything. I was just emotional. I was an emotional wreck. And we came back. By the time we came back, which I think, so I left at about 12. We came back at about 1:30. We ate, and then as we finished eating, Mum's mind it was gone. Couldn't recognize me. Couldn't say a word properly. Everything was just, yeah, it was gone. And that's when I didn't cry at this point. I wasn't crying. I was just, I think I just accepted it at that. By then, Amanda and my auntie Lee had left. My godfather George, and my godmother Faith came in, and we were talking, and miraculously Mum was kind of talking and everything. But then when they left, she was completely gone again. But even then, when they were talking to her, she was very rambling. It's just nothing. 5 o'clock goes by. Her friends from her church had come, and she just, there was nothing. They were just praying with her, and in the midst of this, my little brother, Dean, had came in. Dean hadn't been able to see Mum the entire time when she was in Caldicott because he was working, and it's very far. And where we were, we were very far from where they were. It was supposed to be, by the time he would come, it would be like really late. Because at this point, I had repeatedly called him, said you got to come now, and I'm really glad he did. I believe he took the rest of the day off, and I told him that. And I stopped him at the door before he walked in. I said, Dean, Mum's not the same. She's not. She may not recognise you. She may not be able to talk. It's horrible. He starts crying. I start crying. We hug and, do the whole, brotherly thing. He walks in. Mum's talking to her friends from church. Mum just turns up like that. He goes, "Oh, hi, Dean." And he walks in, sits down, and they start having a chat. I burst out to the little laughing and crying, and at the same time, because I just thought it was the most funniest thing I've ever seen. Mum just knew him, and it was just like, like that, And then I think they were there I think he was there till about 6:30, because he was there for a long time talking to Mum. And I sat down, we talked, and it was good to just have a good chat. And as he left, he said, "I love you, I love you, Ninang," and walked off, shut the door. Mum went out again. I have dinner at this point. The nurses come in and feed her and everything. I ended up sleeping for the first time. I think it was about 8:30, because I remember it was quite early. I went to sleep. Then I woke up at about 2:45, I believe. It's very early in the morning, and I couldn't sleep because Mum. At this point, I didn't know, but Mum was breathing so loud. It just woke me up. So I ended up just playing a game for a long time on my phone. This went on for a few hours, so I'm just playing and watching videos, as you do, and it was about 4:55. I got to the point. Now I was playing Marvel Puzzle Quest, which I don't play anymore. But I remember this because I was at a level and I couldn't get past it, and I've been trying for at least half an hour. And by 4:55, I was like, oh, like that, screaming at myself, like, you're not gonna, totally oblivious to what was going on with Mum. And then, as I finally cleared the level at 4:57. I turned around, and I saw and heard Mum take her last breath. And I immediately was in shock, obviously. Sorry. Called the nurse. And she came in, and at 5 o'clock she was pronounced dead. I didn't really get much comfort from that nurse that pronounced her dead. Not a I'm sorry nor anything. Not even a touch on the shoulder. She's like, well, unfortunately, son, she's gone. I felt very alone. And it sucked. It really did. I was just walked over to Mum on the side, and I just burst out crying, as you would, And for some reason, took Mum's hand, and I started saying the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us. Give us this daily bread, and forgive us for our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. The moment I said Amen. Now, whether you're a believer or not, this is my account. From the corner of, all the way down the hall, I had an eerie scream of no. And it was one of the most scariest things that ever happened. I personally believe that that's the devil, screaming, because I'm a believer of God. I believe in Jesus Christ. He's my Lord and Savior. And, my mum was a very strong believer. And, I accepted that she was going home to God, to be with my dad, my aunties, my uncles, and my grandparents. The next person I called the moment the nurse came in and officially had pronounced her dead with all the writings and everything. I called my friend, my pastor, my father figure, Gav, and I didn't cry. I just told him that Mum's gone, and he said, "Do you need me for anything?" I said, "No, I'm fine, Gav. I'm fine." And but I just said, "I just thank you for being there for me, and being there for Mum." Then I called my godparents, and I told them Mum's gone, and they said, "Okay, we'll be there in an hour." Yeah, they said, if I'm my cat, I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." Called my auntie Lee, and I told her, and she was on her way as well. She was worried about me as well, and that's very understandable. I've lost both my parents. As I sat there and waited, I evaluated everything in my life at that point. It was scary. And then, I don't know, I started praying hard, and after I prayed, I was comforted. I don't know what it was, but I was comforted. Okay. So that was the end of that. I was comforted, and I felt great after that. Here's the funny bit of it all. I've told this part to a lot of people, and I swear this is what happened. I just wish there was someone there to witness it. So me and my mum were big fans of The Walking Dead, and so we said if any of us would die early, we'd just make sure we look presentable. So if anyone of our family were coming, I knew everyone was on their way. And I think I had a 10-minute gap because I realised, I'd been sitting there praying for a very long time. So I stood over Mum's body, combing her hair, but I was like a full foot away, just combing like that. In walks said nurse from before, and she's gasping. She's like, "What are you doing? Why are you doing that?" So I'm just brushing Mum's hair to make it presentable. "Oh, I can do that for you, but why are you standing so far away from her?" I said, "Oh, I'm just and in my mind I thought I said something else, but what I actually said was, I'm just worried that she's going to turn into a zombie, so I'm just going to stay this far away, so if she comes at me, I can at least punch her out or run away." And being the trooper that she was, she's like, "Oh, okay, it's okay. She won't turn into a zombie. That's fine." Walking out. I was still doing it. It was a joke. It was clearly a joke. And all I hear was, I'm not going to swear because I have said I won't swear on this channel. Effing idiot. I heard that, and I couldn't stop laughing at it. It was so funny. And as I've done that, I just realised Mum waited for me to finish the level so I can hear her go and see her go. And that's just amazing that Mum waited for me, and just I'm so blessed to have had my mum. I miss her. But I'm glad she's not in pain anymore. If I have any regrets in life, and I don't really have any, I just wish Mum got to meet this side of me, because I'm a very different person now than when I was when she was still